So hello everybody and welcome back to our YouTube mini series for our Female Boss initiative in partnership with the Royal Bank of Scotland. This is our final Female Boss interview, and this is the lovely Amee Ritchie, who is co-founder of SWheat, which is an organisation that's created a sustainable water bottle. But I'll let you tell us a little bit more about that, Amee. So yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you set up your business.
Thanks, Lisa. So yeah, I'm Amee. I'm 22 years old and I'm co-founder and director of SWheat. So SWheat is an eco-friendly brand that creates reusable products made from plant-based materials. And our first product is the world's first reusable water bottle made from plants. So we take bamboo fibre and wheat straw to create reusable products that are practical and sustainable and really user-friendly, and to make cool designs. So
love that. And am I right in saying I can see a wee sneaky peek of one of the bottles behind you?
Yeah, so these are our new launch coming the end of March, and they're just another follow-up design from our first product. So
amazing.
I'm really excited to be launching them.
That's so great. So tell us a little bit about your startup process. You know, you were at college, you were studying HND Beauty Therapy, you were supported by the British Business Programme about 3 years ago. That's how you and I first met, and we're just having a wee chat before we started recording this interview about how quickly time flies and how far you came. So tell us a little bit about, you know, being at college, studying HND Beauty Therapy, and then having this idea and then taking your next steps.
Yeah, so I left school at 16 and went straight into beauty therapy at Edinburgh College with the original idea to teach beauty therapy, because I really wanted to be a lecturer of a college course, and I loved all things beauty at that time. So it made perfect sense. And I think it was in my third year of college that I kind of had the idea for SWheat, and having the idea of a reusable product, since Blue Planet 2 just came out, and you know, the world was becoming a lot more aware of the environmental crisis that we're facing. And so I wanted to do something that could alleviate that problem. And I also seen, you know, the amount of students that would walk in with their plastic bottles every day from Morrison's was just crazy, that all of them have bins full of them. And I just would think like, wow, they're never gonna disappear. They're gonna be in our world forever. And so, yeah, I really wanted to do something about that. And obviously health was a big motivation for me as well. So drinking more water. So it made sense to make this reusable water bottle. But having been in at college, and my co-founder Jake was also at university studying psychology, so we didn't have any business experience, and we didn't really know, you know, the next thing about what to do from that point, apart from we had this idea. So that's when we reached out to organisations as well as Bridge to Business, and then got to meet Lisa, which was lovely. And one of the first few people that we told the idea to, and that really helped. Seeing everyone's reactions to it and seeing like people like this was a huge motivation for us to go forward. And we just thought, well, we'll just learn as we go. Yeah. And and then we kind of started the ball rolling from there.
Amazing. Yeah, I remember the first time we met, it was in the Granton campus of Edinburgh College, and you had brought another bottle design that you had been testing out before you actually came to create your wheat fibre one. It was glass, and it was double-ended, if I remember correctly. And I love that bottle. I still think about that bottle, actually. That was cool. You didn't shy away from the double-ended. So tell us a little bit about your actual bottle and the design and the process of making that happen.
Yeah, so one of the first things we done was just a lot of customer research, customer surveys, all of that kind of thing. And there was a few main points that kept coming back when we were asking about reusable water bottles. And that was that the customers were finding them really difficult to clean. And I mean, I had to experience that myself too. You always get kind of mold at the bottom of the bottle that would become smelly and you
Lovely.
can't get in. Yeah. Sorry if anyone's eaten. And then the second thing was just that they were heavy or quite unpractical for kind of taking everywhere with you, and so people just wouldn't really bother to take it with them. And we kind of thought, what could we do about that? So the first part was that we'd make it double-ended so that you could easily fit your hand in to clean the bottom of the bottle. You'd unscrew both ends, and that it was dishwasher safe as well, and it'd be really, really easy to clean. And then, which is also good for putting ice and fruit in and things like that. And then the second thing would be that it would be lightweight and durable. And obviously, yeah, at first, our first prototype was glass, because it looks beautiful and
That was nice.
It's really a nice shape and everything, but we quickly realized that it's not that practical. It's okay if it's on your desk or something, but if you're on the go, if you drop it, also from a business point of view for shipping it, there's a good chance it's going to arrive to the customer broken. So yeah, it just wasn't, we quickly realized that wasn't going to happen, but it did have kind of bamboo end, and we really liked that part, and we thought, why don't we just make the whole thing out of bamboo, and the wheat straw as well. And yeah, that was how we got our product, kind of how we came up with the idea, and then got that prototype, which took a long time because we didn't have any finance. So obviously I was living off a student loan, and so was Jake. So we didn't have, any, we weren't in the position that our parents could give us money for that kind of thing. So yeah, we were really on our own with it, and we thought, well, we will need some money. So we kind of went to as many grant programs and, went through the ecosystem, the business ecosystem here in Scotland, get as much grant funding as we could. And that got us enough to get us to the stage of launching our product through a pre-sale crowdfunding campaign. And that was, a whole other experience, and that was one of the best things I've done. And that got us where we are now, really.
Yes, I'm thinking about the funding aspect of it, because I know that you had got the Bristol Business Test Market grant, but also remember when we were working together at Edinburgh College, that we were in this very hot room. I think it was in the summertime, actually, and we're doing a lot of work on your pitching skills, how to deliver your presentation, because if I remember, you were going to be going to, I want to say it's like the Merchant Navy or something like that. You were looking to pitch for £1,000.
Yeah, the Edinburgh Merchant Company.
That's it. And so that was like one of the first experiences for you to be doing that. And I always remember how nervous you were. And then now, you're obviously a lot more confident in your ability to like pitch your business, speak in front of people and stuff like that. Do you feel a difference in yourself now when you look back from that very first time?
Yeah, I would say I definitely do feel a difference from back then. That all the advice that we got was just amazing, and the feedback, and having someone tell you, like, quite honestly, okay, you need to do this better, and look at doing this, which you done for us, which was amazing. But I would say, you still have days where things don't go to plan, or maybe you're just not feeling it that day. There's been pitches we've went to, and I've honestly just thought, wow, what a disaster, that was just terrible. And I don't know, I think it probably happens to everyone, and it's just not something you really share very often, but it definitely happens. And then there's other days where you can do a pitch and you think, God, that went quite well. Yeah. So it's just practice, really, and just telling yourself, like, okay, no one else in this room most likely knows about my product or about this industry, or as much as at least we do. So if I say something slightly wrong, it's not going to matter too much.
It's so true. Nobody's going to know your business better than you, and perhaps they've looked at your business plan beforehand, or, looked at your application, depending on what kind of funding you're going for. But it's true. If you mess up or miss something, or you didn't get something quite right, at the end of the day, you're only human, that's just the way it goes. But you're right, you know, they'll never know it like you know it. So yeah, that's total sound advice. So obviously you run SWheat with Jake, and I'm just thinking about, you know, you're a young woman in business, you're only 22, and have you ever felt any barriers being a young woman in business throughout your entrepreneurial journey so far?
Yeah, definitely. At first, I mean, when I was younger, I really was, I guess, naive in a way that I really didn't see myself any different from, you know, male counterparts. I wouldn't think that there would have been any, I suppose, because I wouldn't subject anyone just because they're male or female to any different sort of you know, a different sort of personality or whatever. So I just didn't really even realize that that went on. And then I quickly kind of realized when started SWheat, and especially when we were looking at potentially talking to investors and things like that, that wow, like there really is a huge problem with the way some women can be treated in business, and some disadvantages that we can face, especially being young, I think, because that adds another level of, okay, well, she's young, she won't know what she's talking about, or whatever people like to think. And so there was one experience I had with an investor actually who was interested in investing and said, you know, that I looked subordinate. And so at the time in this meeting, I didn't even know what that meant. And Jake didn't know either. So I was kind of laughing it off, not thinking it was something very offensive. And then we got out of the meeting and I kind of Googled it. And I was like, wow, that means, you know, he thought I was inferior. And I was so offended. I know.
That's terrible.
And I just think that's just an example of what must happen every day to people. And maybe they don't voice it, you know, maybe people, but that's what they're thinking in their heads, a lot of these people. And so after that, I just kind of thought like, oh, that's not on. I'm not any more inferior to a male counterpart. So yeah.
Oh, I'm really sorry you had to experience that, Amy. That's terrible. But you know what? Whoever that person was who said that to you, talking a lot of rubbish. And you know what? At the end of the day, you've proved them wrong because you've done an incredible job with Jake expanding and building your business. You know, you don't need that sort of negativity in your life. But you know what? You've experienced it. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger type of thing, you know, and you know, that's something you've experienced. So hopefully it didn't knock you too hard. But thank you so much for sharing that. I really appreciate it. So, you know, you've been running SWheat. Am I right in saying that you have actually launched another business that actually has like the most hilarious name ever? I'll let you say it.
Yes. So we actually did, it's not fully launched yet, but we do have another business in the works and it's called Bampoo. So it's a
That's
combination.
Such a great name.
I know. We're really happy to get the trademark for that, but it's basically a combination of bamboo and poo together, and with the logo, as well.
Yeah, and just FYI, Bampoo is it sustainable nappies? Biodegradable nappies?
Yes.
That's what it is.
So it's a social enterprise, and so we hope to, when we launch, we'll with every box of nappies sold, we'll donate a box of nappies to low-income families, single parents, food banks, places like that, because we realised that while we were solving one problem with solving the reusable water bottle, solving the problem of plastic pollution, there's still one of the, I don't know if it's second or third biggest polluter is actually babies' nappies, because traditional nappies aren't biodegradable. They end up in landfill and they'll be there for a very long time. So, and obviously they're quite hard to dispose of as well. So that was something we thought, yeah, that's another thing we could tackle. Just working our way down the list.
Love
it. And yeah, so it's not fully launched yet, but hopefully we did have a little bit of problem because some of the raw materials we use are actually used in toilet roll, and so toilet roll during the pandemic has become very valuable, and very wanted, and so that didn't leave us very much raw material.
That's really interesting.
Once we get over that, that should be coming soon.
Good, I love that. Well, best of luck with that whenever it launches and people stop buying all the toilet roll, so you can actually start making your nappies or whatever. That's hilarious. Okay, that's awesome. I mean, what kind of one piece of advice would you give to someone who's looking to start up in business? So, you know, if there's students here watching this, you know, if you've been in the same position that they are, what would be that one piece of advice that you'd give them?
I mean, there's so many learnings now, but I think a big thing that stuck with me through the whole time is establishing your purpose and your reason for doing it and your why, sort of thing. Because when you have those mornings where you wake up and you just think, what am I doing? That's the thing that will keep you moving forward. The thing you know you can answer that question. Okay, I'm doing it for this reason, this reason, this reason. And so it can be hard at first to think, you know, why am I doing this? But it could be, you know, that you like the social aspect of things, getting to meet new people and new opportunities, or it could be you could be money motivated, and that's fine too. Or you could be, you know, that you're kind of more ego motivated, that you'd like people to know about what you're doing. Any of those things are all fine and really good reasons to be making a change in the world. And so just trying to take some time to work out with yourself what your reason is, and then making sure you can implement that in a way that people will also see. So your customers will see, your you know, your coworkers or whoever else can see that that is why you're doing it. And I think that makes a lot of value in the business. So that's probably my biggest advice. And then
good.
Yeah.
Anything else, or I wasn't sure if you wanted to add something else on there?
I do have another one. But
yes, please.
The second thing is just to remember that you will always feel like you don't know enough, you're not good enough, whatever, you know, thoughts in your head. But everyone else also thinks that. And that's something I've had to tell myself a lot. It's like you walk into a room, you think, wow, there's so many intelligent people in here. They're probably also thinking the same. And it's just remembering that you don't need to know everything. You're never going to know everything. And no one else also knows everything. So it's a really good point to remember.
Oh, absolutely. And that's a telltale sign of suffering a little bit from imposter syndrome. We all suffer from it at some point, you know. It's just something that happens to us. And, you know, obviously we've had the session with Jane, who's spoke to the students about confidence and self-esteem and imposter syndrome, and dealing with that little voice in your head that's saying to you, you're not good enough. It's like shutting that down and being like, actually, you know what? I'm good enough and I can do it. So I completely agree with what you're saying. But thank you so much, Amee. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you. I can genuinely say that I'm very proud of you. You've done an amazing job so far. You've came a long way, and I wish you the best of luck with everything with Bampoo, and for the new launch of your new water bottle with SWheat as well. So it was nice speaking to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lisa.